What's going on, everyone? Welcome. This is the Warehouse Series. If you guys are new to the channel, this is Discord Friday. This is when I go over on Discord, pour off your photos, and I critique your work to help you build a better pallet. Guys, even if you build good work, please post your work because I use that as a learning tool for others. And remember, even the ones that need help, I'm using your pallets for a learning tool for others as well. So when I come down on your pallets, I'm not coming down on you as an individual person, but I'm letting newer selectors know that this is not the proper way to do it and we need to do something differently. Guys, subscribe to the channel. If you want to help support the channel by donating or shopping at my eBay store, it's much appreciated. Join Discord. That link is in the description below. And guys, leave comments, share my videos and all that stuff. And I also want to say, someone reached out to me saying, are you going to do more forklift videos because they just recently got trained on one? No, I have not filmed in my warehouse for over a year, and I'm not filming anymore in my warehouse. So, guys, I believe that everything I have done has proved that I can help you. All right, I got like 4 or 5 forklift videos on there. I've been doing that forklift for over 20 years. And I just believe that the stuff I showed on is a great amount of tips to get you comfortable and get you going on that forklift. And then I have the selection videos of me selecting in the warehouse and a lot of my work that I have done at perishable and dry goods that I truly believe is enough to prove to you guys that I know what I'm doing. So no more of my work is going to be coming out. It's all about you guys on Discord. So every video comes out is specifically helping you as an individual selector. All right, guys, so this is the first picture, and I want to say that most of these have slip sheets on them, and I'm going to be critiquing those slip sheets, guys. I told you in almost 26 years of being at my place, I used slip sheets twice. I don't like them. I think they're a waste of time, but I do think there is proper times that you can use them, and we're going to go over those. Every time I see one, I will definitely point it out. I don't mind the slip sheet, but I don't like this right here. So this is one reason why I hate slip sheets, because you put a slip sheet over a hole that possibly could fill in with a smaller case later. And you're forced to put that smaller case somewhere where you might not want it. So I like my holes exposed, so when I get a smaller case, I have somewhere to put it. I don't want to have to put a smaller case on a layer or next to something that's not going to work out. I like to tuck them into a hole and forget about it. So, and I want to point this out. Here's that tying in concept. These 2 cottage cheeses should have been directly on top of these 2 creamers facing back. It would have been a solid corner here. You got this going in. I don't like it. This little skinny case should have been in the middle. Same with this one. But these 2 cases straight back. This corner over here, I like. But just let's place our cases on the thing, okay? So this case is like hanging off, and these aren't even, I'm not saying you got to be level. I'm not saying I'm sticking a straight edge up there and you got to be perfectly square, but I'm just saying when you have cases hanging off the back of the pallet, and this is the back of your pallet with the forks, it's easier to rock it off and it's easier to fall. So just be wary of that. Your pallet's not bad. I think we could have done our base a little better without the slip sheet, and then you column stacked, which is fine. Once you get the yogurt, you can column stack it. I love the utilization of the bag before putting eggs on. It's not a bad pallet, and it's not a horrible place of a slip sheet. It's actually almost midway through the pallet. I just think we should have did this a little bit better, and then the slip sheet would have been worked out a little bit better. All right, guys, this is a great opportunity to use a slip sheet. All right, we got bottles. Anytime you have like a layer, and I love slip sheets on level layers. I don't like them when they're slanted, because then you're stuck with it. You're stuck with that slant. You can't correct it. So I like it on level like this. But this is perfect, guys. We got only a 2-layer base. Guys, bases could be knee high, thigh high, waist high, chest high. It all depends on the product you're throwing. We established our base. We put a slip sheet down. We had all light cases on top. What did we do? Column stack, column stack, column stack. Guys, this probably took no time because there was only 2 layers, and this took a lot quicker because we had that nice solid base. We tied it in with the slip sheet. This is just a very well executed pallet and great utilization of a slip sheet. And I also want you to take note to this plastic pallet real quick. See how we are on the plastic pallet? We put the weaker case in the middle, boxes on the outside, and we're on the plastic pallet. I want you to keep that in mind because we're going to look at a couple pictures where they are not. All right, guys, so you saw that last picture, and I'm going to tell you why I hate it, and this is why. All right, so now we have room to get on this pallet, but I think we hung them out on purpose because we followed the block on this one. I don't even follow the block on the chipwood whenever I'm stacking these, guys. I'm real ridiculous with hanging cases off the end of the pallet. I believe that all cases should be square. No matter what pallet you're using, you should not be hanging off at all. If anything, that finger's width. So I think we purposely hung these cases off so we could fit this on. So make the block smaller. If you don't have a full cube, I would make the block smaller, get on this pallet, And this pallet's going to be that much better, because when you're hanging off like this, believe it or not, and these plastic pallets or pallets like the Flex, it's more of an opportunity to drop this. I really would have done, just stay within the confines of the pallet. Great utilization of a slip sheet. Once again, we're on top of bottlenecks, and we have yogurt coming, and this is just a great opportunity. We got the necks that we don't want to stack on. We got some holes in here, and just a great opportunity. And we tied this in just beautifully up above. And I like the fact that you tied in, because your base, believe it or not, your base is not that solid because of the rock out and being off the pallet. So your base is, because I say that you could call them stacked once you establish a base, but this base is not that solid. So this tying in this definitely helped the base stay together a lot better. All right, guys, here we go again. So now we don't have gaps on our pallet. We're pretty much meeting here. But once again, these fit comfortably in this same direction on a piece of blue chip. If you don't have to use plastic, don't use them. Look how much we're hanging off each side of this pallet, because the pallets are just too small. So, but you build great. Once again, guys, look at this. 3 layers, got a beautiful base, columns, columns, columns. Love it. Take time on this. This goes a lot faster. You did a great job. And see, guys, a lot of people would use a slip sheet right here. Why? You're on solid cases. There's no problem, unless you absolutely just have one sitting there and you want to use it, and it's only taking you a couple seconds to throw one, then so be it. But don't go looking for a slip sheet right here, because we're level and we're on top of the base, because these are just solid cases to stack on. There's no need for a slip sheet. It's a great looking pallet. I just hate these plastic pallets. All right, guys, I told you that the bases could come in they could be knee, thigh, waist, whatever. This one's almost like chest high. And we kept rolling with it, because we kept getting all the same cases, all the same size cases. So we kept rolling with that base. And here we go. Column, column, column. We're towards the top of the pallet. We're just going to column stack and be done with it. A great looking pallet. This should have been done very quickly. All right, I'm going to spend some time on this. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. Remember, just because you posted it, I'm not coming down on you. I just want you to do better, because this is building to have slip sheets. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 unnecessary slip sheets. If anything, 1 slip sheet should have been used midway through the pallet. There is no need for 4 slip sheets. We got holes in the base down here. You do not want holes in your base. And this is what I'm talking about. We put a slip sheet down and we act like everything's just going to be fine. And everything's going to be just as strong as if we tied it in. That is absolutely false. We need to get away from doing this. You got a great, like this flower, probably I would have stuck it in here and just moved this white box. And that way this would have been level with the flower over there. I would have put them side by side, or even eliminate this box here. Guys, I hate this. I hate cases. This is my cross and T epitome. Right here. I don't like it. Anytime you get a big, flat, long box, it should be on one of your 4 corners facing towards the middle of the pallet. It ties it in and makes it a more solid pallet. When you do this, you force yourself not to be able to do things. So this, I would have pulled this out, and these 2 would have been facing the same direction, tying in, giving me a nice solid corner, because these are pretty solid. I'm not a big fan of keeping them on the corners, but you can. And guys, I don't like it. I don't like these slants, and then we get forced to build on top of these slants with these slip sheets. And then I just think, like right here, like all these small cases, like how much fumbling around are you doing just so you can put a slip sheet on? Because I feel that people do that too, because I've witnessed it in our warehouse, is that people will keep moving cases around to try to get that layer as level as possible so they could add that slip sheet. Just select without it. All right, just select without the slip sheet. Cases on their sides, not as long as it's not liquid, it doesn't look like it's too big of a deal. We got light cases on top of it. Your square, your round plastic pallets again. Your front pallet looks really good. I just noticed that. Like, how to stack. I mean, come on, look at this. That front pallet looks so nice. We don't need to do this. I want you to try to cut this down to 1 slip sheet. And I guarantee this pallet's going to look a lot better than this, because it's going to sit level. I like my cases sitting level at all cost. All right. I don't like being level at all costs. I like my cases sitting level at all cost. When I say be level at all costs, that's people trying to take every row, every layer, and make it level. I like every case sitting level, not my layers, my cases. And you can't do it when you use this many slip sheets. All right, guys, here's another picture, and I just screenshotted this to show you why I hate it. All right, we put a slip sheet down on an unlevel layer, and we got that slant going, and now we got this whole column just leaning into these berries that will tip over. All right, even with another slip sheet up here, if we make a hard left or a right rather around the bend, this whole thing is just going, and you're gonna have berries all over the place. But once again, don't like it because we have a problem that we cannot correct once we put that slip sheet down. All right, this person asked for help. They said they build horrible. No, you don't. You don't. You're building good. All right, a couple things here. Once again, just tie in high to lows. All right, this little case right here, you have perfectly fine cases. So this say we get this big box here, we put this down, and then you get these. Buddy, just slide that case out and drop the heavy cases right down. And this looks like a case that maybe could even be up on end. You know, I don't know what's in there, but maybe up on end. Just squeeze it right in here by the bucket. Yeah, we got a bucket smash in a case. You know, sometimes I say this is a warehouse issue because if they're putting buckets after boxes, you have no choice but to do this. It's going to crush the box. To me, it's a warehouse problem. Your pallet's not bad. I mean, I mean, we got a wall up the back, but we did have a nice base here. We got a nice solid base. These are heavier cases. I'm taking it these are freezer cases as well. It looks like your front's like falling backwards. Just make sure you keep your lines. We don't ever want to do this. Just knock that case out of there, drop it down, keep our lines. Maybe keep your buckets in the corner. So if the cases do buckle, like you have this bucket, try to keep this bucket in the middle of the pallet as well. So if it does buckle, it's not going to knock over your corner. Yeah, but other than that, it's kind of hard to see any more from this. Your front pallet looks like it almost looks like you have no corner up here, and it looks like you have a low corner. So just keep watching my videos. High corner, low inside. These big boxes, I like how you tie these in, but don't be afraid to column stack some of these bigger boxes. Don't do that. Don't tie in high to lows. Just try to keep level. Send more pictures, and I definitely can help you out a lot more than what I just did. All right, guys, so this one right here, guys, I promise you when you have a lot of smaller cases, the number one reason why people mess up small cases on orders like this is because they're constantly trying to tie stuff in. You don't have to do that, especially when all the stuff's a little bit lighter. Now, this corner is weak over here, but guys, if you get a weak corner, all what you have to do is just separate your pallets and just wrap this one time. And I told you, if you're afraid to separate your pallets, wrap them together. All right, just remember when you get to the wrap station or wherever to go separate them, cut them again. All right, I've actually wrapped both my pallets together. And then I just maybe when I'm up at the wrap station, I'll call someone over. Hey, can you watch my corner real quick while I separate this? Just don't forget to cut the middles, before you separate them. But great looking pallet. Just keeping it simple. Slight tie-ins. We're not forcing tie-ins. We did a high to a low, not bad though. That's pretty minute, guys. You want to be as minute as possible. Just slight tie-ins right here. Just slight tie-ins, guys. You don't have to be crazy with your tie-ins when you have a bunch of small cases. Just a beautiful looking pallet. All right, guys, I got the last two pallets. This one, they're both the same person right here. We got a solid base, and we tied this in up here as well. Remember, guys, you have this nice solid base. You could column stack this up here, but if you want to tie it in, it's just going to make that much more solid of a pallet. Not necessarily, guys, if you have a system down, this necessarily isn't slower than just column stacking. When I say column stack from here up, it could be done a lot quicker, but at the same time, this isn't taking that much more time, but it's a great looking pallet. Let's look at your last one. And then I like this because you could do this. All right, we column stacked our base and then we tied in the top, and that works just as well, guys. So we column stack this, and then we tied in the top of the pallet. And believe it or not, when you tie in the top of the pallet, we can lock in the bottom. Now, it depends on the cases. I would not column stack juices like the V8 splashes or stuff like that. I would, flat boxes are going to get away with it because they're just more bulkier and they're going to hold that base nice and tall. You don't want to do this with bottlenecks, column stack and then locking up the top. I would do it with boxes only. Great looking palette. Thank you for posting your work. All right, guys, a little longer than usual. You guys are posting a lot of pictures over there. I appreciate it. We're almost up to 1,000 members over in Discord. And guys, keep letting me know when people spam my Discord. I'm going to look into the bots and all that stuff if I don't have to pay for it, because I can't afford to pay for anything on this channel. So but it's only like the third time that we got spam. So if you guys ever see the spams coming, just let me know. I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day.